Hello everyone, Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. Doing another little bit more on the Celtic cable cardigan. And I've done a little video on my other channel, Sheila's Just Knitting, showing how I cross over the cables on this. So I'm going to show you on this channel as well, because not everybody is on my other channel. So I'll show you that first. Ordinary cables here, and there's these ones who you're going in, under and over and around, and these are done slightly different to these cables, so how you cross over these ones. This is the jacket that I'm doing, and this is the panel with the Celtic cable. I'm going to knit across this row and show you how I do these, how the difference between ordinary crossover and the Celtic crossover, because you want, you know, your different stitches going this way and that way, and these ones are just ordinary knit stitches, what you hold on the cable needle, and what is on the other needle that you knit are just knit stitches, but these ones are knit and purl stitches, and you have to know which ones are which. And this is my cable needle. It's just an ordinary cable needle. I don't use any of those fancy ones with the extra pieces in the middle and that. This does me. So I need my cable needle. And we have first two stitches are purl. This puts an edge at the side of the cable. And then this cable is sloping towards the right that way. So you do that at the back. So I'm taking two stitches off the needle, holding them at the back. And then knitting the next two stitches off the needle. And then knitting those two stitches off the cable needle. Then you can see that's sloping over to the right. The cable needle down there. Now I'm going to purl the next two stitches. And then I'll have to look at the pattern to see which ones I'm doing next, because there's a lot of different crossovers on here. And I'm on to the 11th. So I've cabled 4 back, purl 2, I'm going to knit 2 now. Knit 2 stitches. And then the next, I have to cross 4 back, not just cable 4, it's cable cross 4 back. So I have to take the first 2 stitches, which are purl, onto the cable hook. The cable needle, sorry, I keep thinking it's a crochet hook. And then I'm knitting the next 2 stitches. And then I'm going to purl the 2 stitches off the cable needle. That's the cable needle down again, and then I'm going to purl 2, next 2 stitches, purl 2, and the next cable is an ordinary cable back, so it's leaning to the right. So I'm taking the first 2 stitches off that needle out of the way. The first 2 stitches off the needle onto the cable needle, holding that at the back, and I'm going to knit the next 2 stitches. And then knit the stitches off the cable needle, which are knit. That's an ordinary cable crossover. Cable needle, and then now I have to purl 2 now. Purl 2 stitches. And the next is a cable crossover front. So I take the first 2 stitches and hold it at the front of the work, and the next 2 stitches on the needle are purl, so purl those 2 stitches, and then I'm going to knit those 2 stitches off the cable needle. So that was 2 purl stitches and 2 knit stitches. That's crossed over this time. And then I have to knit 2, purl 2, and the next cable is an ordinary crossover, but we want it crossing over into the left. So we take the first 2 stitches off the cable needle and hold it at the front of the work, and then knit the next 2 stitches, and then knit the 2 off the cable needle. And that's just an ordinary crossover, so there's no different stitches, it's just all knit. And that's that whole panel done, what was necessary to cross the stitches. And the rest of the thing I just have to knit across. It's going to be, the jacket here is going to be folded in here. That's where this is a slip stitch all the way down there, because it's going to be folded in, and that is the front of the bands on the front of the jacket, and they are going to be stitched down on the inside. So that's how you do the different kinds of cable for a Celtic cable pattern. It looks complicated and it seems intricate, but it's not quite as complicated or intricate as you think. It's just remembering that you have to knit stitches and purl stitches in the middle of cables, some of the cables, that's it. Knit purl stitches across 2 front, so that's purling 2 stitches and knitting 2 off the cable needle. And then it's cross 4 back. My cable needle, cross 4 back. 2 off the needle. and purl the two off the cable needle. It's a bit hard to get stitches off there. Then it's purl 4. Cross 4 front and then cross 4 back. Knit 2 and put the 2 knit stitches on the cable needle, purl the next 2, knit those off the cable needle, and then purl 4, cross 4 back. That's knit 2. These are all knit stitches, but I still have to purl them because they're crossed, not ordinary cable. And purl 2. Cross 2 front ways. Knit the 2 off the cable needle. Needle in my pin cushion. So that's all the cables crossed over. I can knit the rest of the row. I'll put that down for a minute. Have a cup of tea with my tea. You know, this is my, don't know whether you can see it with the sun shining. Knitting keeps me from unravelling. I've had to put this cup of bleach inside because it was all stained with tea and coffee stains, and it hasn't got the coating inside that stops the cups from the tea and the coffee dyeing the inside of the cup, and I didn't like that. I think I'm probably going to end up using it for, probably bleaching it again and then using it for just putting things in. I don't like the tea stains and that you get in cups and that. It looks awful. But it's been a miserable day all day. And when I decided to do this video, the sun's come out and it's shining in my room. I turn my... Oh, it's still shining there. That's a little bit better that way. And I've been crocheting a bit more of Daggery's blanket this morning. It's another two rounds of white I've done, so it's getting quite big now. I think I measured it and I think it measures 30 inches by 28. So I actually did a little, I didn't start it off as an ordinary granny square. As you can see, it's a little bit long. I started it off with a chain because I wanted it to be longer, not an exact square, just to be a bit longer and not a perfect square. I haven't quite finished that second round because I ran out of wool, and I've had to go and hunt through my balls upstairs and get another ball of white. So that was what I did this morning. I'm putting that away for now till tomorrow morning. That's all I'm doing in the day. Do a little bit of the blanket in the morning and Daggery's cardigan from lunchtime until the rest of the day. In my own, what I've got here, the things I'm knitting for my shop. This is a little cardigan I'm doing. I'm just doing these at the weekend. So I'm trying to get daggeries finished for her, because I also have a poncho to do for her. And I have another order. Well, I have two other orders actually. So I'm trying to get these finished for daggery so I can get them sent off to the United States to her. But I got quite a bit of my this done. This is what I done yesterday. I only started it yesterday afternoon. I got quite a bit done. It's a bit quicker because it's only got one panel of the cable, one panel of the Irish moss stitch, and this is the cable for the front bands. Is that's that mark down there is a slip stitch, which helps it fold when you fold it in, because the band's going to be folded in at the front like that. I can't fold it in far enough because I haven't done enough of it yet. But it'll fold in on the front, and that slip stitch is what helps to keep the fold in place. And because it's just plain stocking stitch across there, it's knitting up a lot quicker than it was for the back. So I think I'm going to get this finished a lot quicker than what it took me. I'll probably get the two pieces done in less time than what it took me to do the back. And then the sleeves. The sleeves have just got one cable panel down, but they have a cable on either side of the panel with the Irish moss stitch on. But this Irish moss stitch is still, it's quicker to do than what the cable is, so it shouldn't take me as long as I thought it was going to take now. And anyway, that's just my little bit for today to let you see what I've been doing. And now I'm going to sit down and finish my cup of tea and finish as much of this as I can. I've even managed to knit it of a night time while I'm watching the television, because I'm actually starting to remember where I have to cross the stitches over and which ones I have to look, look at the pattern now and again. But I can look at the pattern and look at a few rows and remember those few rows and then do them and then check the pattern again. So I can't actually watch the television and do this. So that's how I got so much done last night, because I was doing it from I think I started at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I kept on knitting after tea and while I was watching the television. So I'm getting a little bit better at that, because it is a hell of a long time since I've done anything with anything like that type of cable on. I used to do them for my kids when they were kids, so they got to that age, when being old boys, they don't want their mother's knitted things, they want things you buy in the shops, don't they? So we're probably in the early teens. That was probably when I stopped knitting for them, because they didn't want anything knitted when they got to that age. But anyway, that's my little bit for today. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch up with you another day and let you see how far I get with this cardigan. So bye for now.